Hello children, welcome back to our online classes once more. Today we are going to start with our story In the Kingdom of Fools by A.K. Ramanujan. A.K. Ramanujan was a very famous Indian writer and he used to write very well in English and in Kannada. Today we are going to read the story and we are going to find out how beautiful, how meaningful the story is. It is such an insightful story, such a meaningful story, and we learn a very big lesson of life from this story. What is that lesson? Stay away from fools. Be safe, be happy. Here we find at the beginning of the story, it is very clearly mentioned that fools can be very dangerous and only wise people can tackle the fools, nobody else. In the beginning of the story, we find in this kingdom the two biggest fools, the king and his minister. They pass the rule, wanting to be different, wanting to be unique. They pass the rule that night will be day and day will be night. So everybody has to be sleeping at daytime and at night time everybody needs to walk and everybody has to be out on the street. So like that, things will be different in this kingdom. And so, it was being followed because people were scared of their lives and it was being followed there. What happened after this? One fine morning, there comes a guru and his disciple to visit the kingdom. It was such a beautiful place and they visited the kingdom. And they were very happy. At the same time, they were surprised. How come everybody is inside in their homes during daytime? Streets are empty. What is wrong? And at night time, the whole world comes out on the street. What is wrong? But then they got to know that this is the rule of the king. And we have to be inside at daytime and outside at night time. Oh, what a lovely rule. They couldn't think of anything better, the guru and the disciple. Okay, then they carried on with eating. And then again they were surprised that everything was available at 1 rupee. In 1 rupee you could buy the whole world of food for yourself. The guru was immediately alert. He wanted to leave the place because he was thinking that if he continued to stay there, might be in this kingdom of fools, he will be harmed because he is a normal person. So he might be harmed. The guru wanted to leave the place, but the disciple wanted to carry on because he was a greedy one. He was a different version of the guru. And so he wanted to carry on. And why did he want to stay back? Because eatables were so cheap and he wanted to eat and eat and eat. So the story continues with a thief now. The thief comes to steal a merchant's place, a merchant's house. As the thief was about to enter, the wall breaks down on him and it finishes him, kills him. So the thief's brother goes to the king and asks for justice. The merchant was caught because it was his wall. The merchant said, I am not at fault, I wasn't there. You know, the person who had built the wall should be at fault, is the real culprit. The king thought, yes, it is true. So call the builder. The bricklayer was called. When the bricklayer was called, the bricklayer said, see, I don't know anything about all this. How the thief was killed. Because when I was building the wall, I was distracted by a dancing girl. I was young, she was young. I looked at her and she looked at me. And so I got distracted. And immediately the king was again like this. The king called the dancing girl. The dancing girl comes and then the king says, you are going to be punished because of you, a thief is killed today. The dancing girl said, what is my fault, your honor? I was running up and down because I was running after the goldsmith. He was getting delayed and he didn't give my order on time. I was waiting for my order to be delivered and I was running up and down the street My anklets were jingling, and how do I know who gets distracted with my anklets? The king was again puzzled, confused, and the king says, okay, call the goldsmith. Now the goldsmith comes. The goldsmith says, Your Honor, I am not to be blamed at all. Why? Because I was preparing the order, finishing the order for a very rich merchant. And you know how rich people are. They are very moody, very temperamental. So I had to finish the order first. So how could I deliver this dancing girl's order? I could not, and it is not my fault. So who was the merchant? Let us call the merchant. And that merchant happened to be the same old merchant whose wall had killed the thief. Now the merchant was absolutely at a loss. What is to be done? A new hanging place was built, and it was also found that the hanging place could not hang a thin person like the merchant. So the merchant was released happily. And everybody was here and there under the instructions of the king to find a fat person to be hanged. People went here, people went there, and then they reached that disciple. The disciple was busy eating, and his latitude and longitude both had changed, because he was on ghee, he was on bananas, he was on rice, he was on wheat, and he had become like this. So they bring that person down to the hanging place, and the person was very shocked, very surprised, and started, creating a scene. But then who was alert immediately? The disciple's guru. He was a wise person. He dreamt that his disciple is in danger. So what did he do? He reached the place. He reached that kingdom, the fool's kingdom. And then he told the king, what are you doing? I don't know, what are you doing? And they made a kind of false fight in front of the king. So the king was taken in. The king believed that a real fight was going on between the disciple and the guru. And the king asked the disciple that, what is wrong? Why are you two fighting? And the guru said, we are fighting because we want to be the next king. We are tired of this life. We want to be the next king. Ascetic life. Ascetic means holy life. We are not happy with this holy life anymore. We want to be the king. So how we can be the king? We want to be hanged on the gallows, on this hanging place. Because it is very clearly mentioned, any person who is going to be hanged first on this hanging place is going to be the next ruler, next king of this kingdom. The king was surprised. The king was very excited. And what did the king do? The king relieved both of them. He quietly said, put fingers on your lips, go back and take rest. Go back and take rest until and unless you are called, you will not come out. At night, the king and his minister dressed up as the guru and the disciple. And they quietly go to the executioner. The executioner means the hangman was previously instructed that whenever any person, the first person you see coming out and meeting you, you will be hanging. Without further orders, without even asking for any permission, you will hang that person. So the king and the minister nicely, they walked down to the executioner. The executioner saw the king and the minister. He didn't understand. He thought the guru and the disciple. And he executed both of them. The next morning, the whole kingdom finds out the king and the minister both have been executed. So, the next king would be who? They request the guru and the disciple to take the throne. But the Guru was very strict about all this. Fortunately, the country people were able to convince the Guru, and the Guru became the next king, and the disciple became his minister. So this is the whole story all about. I will be uploading the PDF file also. Please connect. I have discussed only the main points of the story. In between, if you find anything to be discussed, please, comment. You know how to comment. Please comment. That's all. I'll be also uploading the difficult word meanings. And stay blessed, stay tuned, stay happy.